coming up on Retirement Solutions Television.
And a lot of times we see that risk score that you are currently taking right now is much higher than what your comfort level is. The goal is bring those into alignment. Put it on the scenic path as you go through retirement, that beautiful vista, the slow turns, the nice views, and be able to help you sleep well at night.
We also looked at it for ourselves and said, most people have no clue that when they're thinking about retirement, it's not about a return. It's always about cash flow, cash flow, cash flow.
In the next 2 decades, you ready
Wow.
for this? This is you watching this show right now. We have 3.7 million. This number is going to explode on the number of centenarians in the United States. What this means to you is you need to have a strategy that could get you at least to 100, maybe even beyond.
And now your hosts of Retirement Solutions Television, the Retirement Brothers, Tyson and Ryan Thacker.
Welcome to Retirement Solutions Television. My name is Ryan Thacker. We have a great show that starts right here, right now.
Hi, and welcome to this week's Retirement Roundtable, where I am, of course, accompanied by Ryan and Tyson Thacker of Boss Retirement. And guys, we have a great topic today, and I want to tell you, before I get into that, I was reading a recent article in the Wall Street Journal that said, retirees today are carrying too much risk in their respective portfolios. So today we're going to talk about knowing your risk score. Ryan, tell me about that.
You know, Mark, this reminds me of a story. Our family built a cabin up in the mountains, and our dad built that cabin. And we have a very steep pitch on that roof. And towards the end, my older brother was holding my dad's feet. It's a 50 to 60 foot drop off the back.
Right.
And he just had to get that last nail, right? Yeah. And that was a scary risk. Now, my dad says that wasn't risk because he felt like he had a rope around his waist, right? Well, how many of you are out there today with your portfolio right before you go into retirement, trying to get that last little nickel out of your market gains? And there's really not any idea of what your risk that you're taking. And if, you know, recently we watched some good football games. We don't want to fumble the ball right at the goal line. When it comes to retirement, you need to know what your risk is so that you can manage that correctly.
And when, Tyson, when people come in, are you finding that they are in fact carrying too much risk? And I'll go one step further with that. They don't even realize it because they're using the same strategy they used in the accumulation phase of their retirement.
That's exactly right. Most people are so focused on that accumulation, and they love being able to open up that statement and see, hey, I just had an 8% return over the last quarter or year. And they don't realize how much risk they're taking. They need to really dial back that risk as they get about 5 years before retirement. And one of the free services that we do when somebody comes in is we help them to focus on what their risk score is. And so it's really enlightening for folks. They take a look and we ask them some questions. There's an algorithm that we use as those questions are asked, that those questions change. And once they get done with all of the questions, they can see what their risk score is, which anywhere from 0 to 100, 0 being the least risky, 100 being the most risky. And most people are shocked what their true risk score is. We also compare it to where they have with their 401k or other retirement accounts, and it almost invariably that where they have it right now is too risky, and we help them really create a plan that feels comfortable to them, because it's really the difference between what your head says that you should be doing and what your gut says. You know, a lot of people can't sleep at night because they're listening to their gut, but they want to believe what's in their head, and they don't match up. And
Sleeping
we help
at
that.
night.
Yeah.
That's important in retirement.
Right.
It is important.
Yeah.
And you know, Ryan, let me throw this at you. I think a lot of people think that the only way I'm going to get the type of growth that I want or need, okay, is taking too much risk. We can, in fact, get growth, right, with maybe not as much, but with reducing that risk a little bit. Fair statement?
Fair statement. In fact, you can dial that risk back but still have returns that are consistent to help you beat inflation and be able to get where you want to go in retirement. The biggest thing with the risk score, what it does for you is like a speed limit sign. You know, imagine driving down the freeway and having no speedometer. Not any ability to see how fast you're going, and then you see the policeman right there on the side of the road, highway patrol, right? That's what some people are driving their retirement accounts like. They have no idea what the risk is. If the market goes down like it did in 2001 or in 2008, and they're thinking, okay, I lost 40% last time. Well, what have you done about it today? What changes have you made to your portfolio to help you sleep well at night? Those are things that we can help you with. Understand your risk score, and a lot of times we see that risk score that you are currently taking right now is much higher than what your comfort level is. The goal is bring those into alignment. Put it on the scenic path as you go through retirement, that beautiful vista, the slow turns, the nice views, and be able to help you sleep well at night.
I love that. Tyson, I got a minute left here. So I'm at home right now, and I'm opening up my wonderful quarterly or monthly statement. How do I know if I have too much risk?
That's the hard part, is most people don't. Because in a 401k as an example, there's only a limited number of places that you can put your money to try to help save costs. In IRAs, you may have a few more options, but you probably don't look at it that often. Everybody hears the advice, you know, stay the course, just keep. So a lot of people don't switch around with it very often. That's what we love to be able to do. Just bring in the statements, make sure that you understand what's going on. We can walk through it with you, help to make sure that they're taking the right steps towards retirement.
Tyson, Ryan, thanks so much. Hey, don't go anywhere. A lot of great stuff to come. You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
It's your retirement. How will you live it? How will you be remembered?
Will you be able to take me on vacation?
Will you be there for my ball games?
Will you teach me your values? Will you be able to play with me?
Oh, help me go to college. How will I remember you?
Have the retirement you dream about. Ask BossRetirement.com.
Having no clear retirement plan is a mistake I see a lot in my financial planning office when I meet someone for the first time. It is extremely rare that someone comes in and has a clearly defined income plan for his or her retirement. One way you'll be able to get a clearly defined retirement income plan is to talk to an independent financial advisor who specializes in retirement planning. Not someone who specializes in getting you to retirement, but someone who is dedicated getting you through retirement. If you don't have a clear retirement plan, then be one of the first 5 callers and you'll receive a free complimentary planning review. There's no obligation and no cost if you have at least $200,000 saved for retirement. Here's what you'll receive: a free report to sort through your current advisor costs, a tailored plan to guard your investments, tax analysis to reduce your tax liability and increase your cash flow, and a customized income plan to boost your retirement. Plus, you'll receive a budget assessment to help you manage your cash flow. So call now for your free, no obligation financial review.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
Tyson, this segment we're talking a little bit more about the income bucket on the Boss Retirement Blueprint. Goes all the way back to the Cottonwood Mall. And our dad was a barber, 41 years he did this, right?
Every day.
And it's really strange to drive by the Cottonwood Mall today and it's not there.
Just this big dirt pile.
It's a big Macy's building and nothing else. Let's talk a little bit about on the days when we used to go in with Dad to the barbershop after school, we'd go buy some candy. What was the experience that made us start thinking about this income bucket of the Blueprint?
Yeah, this was one of our favorite experiences. Obviously, Dad was a barber. We wanted to spend time with him. One of the great ways to do that was to come home after school. He would take us back after lunch, and we'd be able to get our hair cut, and then we would go kind of wander the mall. And at the time...
No, we didn't wander the mall. We wandered the mall with candy.
Well, and we went straight to JCPenney.
And don't go into the keyhole. Remember? Mom didn't want us to go in the keyhole.
JCPenney, we beeline for JCPenney because of the candy counter. And you'd usually get cinnamon bears. I'd usually get chocolate-covered jelly rings.
Sometimes a half a pound, sometimes a pound, depending on how much we got.
How much money we had made in allowance the week before. but then we'd kind of cruise them all a little bit. And you're right, don't go in the keyhole. That was off limits. Mom would be mad.
Hey, Mom, that's why we have a keyhole right here in our Boss Retirement Blueprint. Just kidding.
Oh, hilarious. So, but what it really reminded us of is, again, that as you age, as you get to retirement age, you have to have an income stream. And you know, as we watched Dad work all those years, and Dad came into us and said, you know what, at some point I'm going to need to retire. And I recognize that if I'm up at the cabin or if I'm not working in some capacity, that the paycheck isn't rolling in. So
he was there from 1969 to 2006, the longest running tenant in the Cottonwood Mall, other than J.C. Penney. And when you shut those doors, where's the income going to come from?
Exactly.
Right? That's why the income bucket was designed.
Yeah, we saw firsthand how big of a difference that would make in our own parents' lives. We also looked at it for ourselves and said, most people have no clue that when they're thinking about retirement, it's not about a return. Mm-hmm. It's always about cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. And that's never changed as we've run our business and talked to people about how to make sure they can get to and through retirement.
Well, and the income bucket really boils down to reliable income. Mm-hmm. Reliable income is Social Security. It's a pension if you're fortunate enough to have one. It could be income producing real estate. It could be a business that you've owned for 10, 15, 20 years that's reliable. Let's talk about what's not reliable. Reliable is not that you just started a business yesterday and you're hoping that your woodworking hobby turns into a business and you're going to be able to sell unlimited numbers of wooden toys on eBay, right?
That's right.
Also, what it's not is something that is going to be based off of something that's moving around all the time. Coming from the banking world, you cannot go get a loan off of an investment portfolio because they don't consider it reliable income. You cannot get loans off of an asset. It has to be income producing assets, and that is the bottom line of the income bucket on the blueprint.
So if you'd like your own customized income plan for you and your spouse, give us a call or let us know on the website. We'd be happy to help. We'd be happy to make sure you can do what's right for you as it relates to the income bucket.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
Life, a series of moments. A touch, a look, a laugh. Successful people. It might not be superior imagination. It just might be superior retirement planning. Imagine what's next. Plan today, own tomorrow.
Call Boss Retirement Solutions, 801-610-1234.
Having no clear retirement plan is a mistake I see a lot in my financial planning office when I meet with someone new. It is extremely rare that someone comes in and has a clearly defined income plan for his or her retirement. One way you will be able to get a clearly defined retirement income plan is to talk to an independent financial advisor who specializes in retirement planning. Not someone who is specialized in getting you to retirement, but someone who is dedicated to getting you through retirement. If you don't have a clear retirement plan, then be one of the first 5 callers and you will receive a free complimentary planning review. There is no obligation and no cost if you have at least $200,000 saved for retirement. Here's what you will receive: a free report to sort through your current advisor costs, a tailored plan to guard your investments, tax analysis to reduce liability and increase cash flow, and a custom income plan to boost retirement. Plus, you'll receive a budget assessment to help manage your cash flow. So call now for your free, no obligation financial review.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV. All right, guys, you know what? Again, so many people emailing in, and here's a big question that they've been asking. What happens when I come into the office? Is it going to be scary? You're going to put handcuffs on me? No, listen, I was reading a great article in the Wall Street Journal, and they were talking about that a lot of people are a bit frightened. They're a bit, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to bring all my financial information. And, kind of jokingly in the article, it said, it's sort of like going to the doctor and the doc says, put on this gown,
Right.
take the rest of it off, and come out in that
That's
gown.
kinda how it
Very
feels. Yeah.
uncomfortable. So what is it like when people come in?
Well, it's a very low pressure environment. And one of the things that we find when some families come in, we call it the poker face. It's like holding your cards right here up at your chest, and they'll be asking questions and then looking at their cards, and the sad thing about that, Mark, is the more information we have, the better solutions we can offer. And this is a trust relationship as you come into the office. But I can promise you this, as you come in, here's what we request. Bring in everything. Bring in your
Let
statements.
us know everything about you so we can find out what we can do to help.
The 401k statement, the brokerage statement, if you have any pensions, what that benefit amount will be, your Social Security benefit that you're eligible to receive, whether that's from online at ssa.gov or it's just simply the statement that they send you around your birthday. Bring that in, because what that does is it gives us a chance to have a real good conversation about where are you? Truly, where are you? I think part of the thought process of being a little bit nervous to come into the office is, what if they think I'm in a bad position? Where most of the time the families that come in, they're in a great position. It's just rearranging to fit the right areas on the Boss Retirement Blueprint.
I remember when I first met you guys, and I came into your office. By the way, beautiful office.
Thank
the
you.
minute I walked in, I can't remember her name behind there.
Yeah,
Right.
Tiffany.
She was so nice right away. How are you guys? Make people feel at home right away. It's such a good feeling to come there. Talk about that a little bit more, if you would.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, when we hire for that position, when Tiffany was hired, we told her as part of the interviewing process, look, you need to understand that when people walk through the door, they may have had a hard time finding the office. They may be apprehensive about sharing their experiences. You need to help them feel comfortable right up front, because we recognize that this is people's life savings that we're dealing with here. And of course, they're going to feel a little bit apprehensive. Put them at ease. We give them a menu where they have the opportunity to choose a beverage. They have the opportunity to choose a snack. We want this to be as comfortable as possible. And that even extends when they come in to the individual office. Tiffany greets them, brings them into where we're going to meet. And then what happens next, they have the opportunity to see just a brief video that introduces them to our team, because we want them to understand. They may have heard us on the radio, they may have seen us on TV, but they may not know the rest of the team. We want them to see who they are, what they represent, and a little bit about our firm overall. And then the most important thing, Mark, in that first discussion, it's going to be 30 to 45 minutes usually, depending on how many questions somebody asks. But we want to get to know them and their story, because everybody's unique. Every situation's different. And we want to take the time to make sure we understand how we can help.
And you hard sell them. They got to sign on the dotted line in 10 minutes, right? And all their money's got to go to you in 10 minutes.
It's the opposite of that. It's like Tyson said, we want to know your story, just like we share our story about what it was like for us to grow up. I mean, we grew up right here on the Wasatch Front. We went to scout camp. We went on these youth activities. This is the same place that we grew up. We love this place. We love helping you get to retirement with confidence, and that's what it's all about.
Well, we really want to make that an extension of the dinner table that we had at home. We really want people to feel as comfortable with us as we hope that we can feel with them, and really get to know their situation so that we can help them take that next step and really rest easy in retirement.
Guys, thanks so much. Hey, don't go anywhere. We got a lot of great stuff to come. You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
Remember when life was simpler? When things didn't move quite so fast, and the world didn't seem so complex? Remember that? We do. And as the world around us has continued to speed up, becoming more complicated, and still a bit uncertain, we have managed to keep things simple, providing sound, easy-to-understand financial advice and customized roadmaps for the road ahead, from tax reduction strategies, investment advice, and guaranteed retirement income you cannot outlive, backed by the claims-paying ability of insurance companies. We can be your single point of contact, a single call, a voice you recognize well, and a partner who can be by your side for the entire journey. We can't stop the world around us, but we can help ensure you're prepared for what's to come. To schedule a no-obligation meeting, simply contact us today.
From my experience, many retirees keep too much of their assets in the stock market after they retire. A well-diversified retirement portfolio should have assets in each of the 3 different stages. The youth stage, putting money into savings. The adult stage, putting a portion into investments. And when you reach the mature stage, you should transition from growing and risking to protecting and guaranteeing yourself income. If you aren't sure about your risk, call now or go to AskBossRetirement.com to get a free Boss Retirement Blueprint. This is an easy to understand financial review. There's no obligation and no cost if you have saved at least $200,000 for retirement. And here's what you'll get: a free report to sort through your current advisor costs, a tailored strategy to help guard your assets, a tax analysis to potentially reduce your tax liability and increase your cash flow, and an income plan plus a budget analysis. Call now or go to AskBossRetirement.com.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
Today, Ryan, I want to share a really cool story about a 100-year-old. Her name is Ida Keeling.
Wait, can you stop? How old?
100 years old.
100 years old. Keep that in mind. Keep that number in your mind.
Ida Keeling, she just set a new world record in her age group, which was 80 and over for the 100-yard dash. Think about it.
That's awesome. Isn't that crazy?
So you and I are going to have a race when we get to 100 and see who wins.
Well, here's the thing. That means you'll be 102 and a half and I'll be 100.
There you go.
So, I mean, if you look at this, and what does this mean to you? Well, we're living longer, and this longevity is going longer and longer again. You know, I think of this, 100 years old and running this 100-yard dash. I'm going to get a little personal here. What does this mean for you? You know, as you think about going through retirement, there is a statistic that we just read that says there's about 450,000 centenarians in the United States. That's individuals who are over age 100. In the next 2 decades, get ready for this. This is you watching this show right now. We have 3.7 million. This number is going to explode on the number of centenarians in the United States. What this means to you is you need to have a strategy that could get you at least to 100, maybe even beyond.
In fact, a lot of the tables have just changed over the last year. It used to be that most people lived, if you were a married couple, between 85 and 90, one at 85, one at 90. Those tables actually changed in January from 85 to 88 and from 90 to 93. So that's happening before our eyes. And so you're exactly right. There needs to be a plan in place to ensure that your money lasts as long as you do.
Okay, so let's look at some options. Number one, what can you do about this? Well, it's truly, now we talk about, you know, the 60s, the new 40. Well, a lot of times you're getting right to retirement and it feels like maybe the 70 is the new retirement age versus age 60 or 65.
In fact, we have a good friend of ours by the name of Dan Sullivan that he says, I want to make it so that when you are 100 years old, you feel like you're 60.
I love this.
Yeah, and so we want to talk to you about how important it is to have a plan in place, because rest assured that there is no way just by trying to make this work on your own that you're going to be able to have this money last as long as you do.
So what we're really talking about here is you may need to change a mindset. This mindset that we're going to, live until 70 or 80, that's kind of a mindset that's not really the right mindset right now. What we like to focus on, in fact, we have some workshops that we do that are called Your Best Is Yet to Come.
It's one of the things we're passionate about is as you retire, we really do feel like your best is yet to come.
And we want to have purpose and passion when we're going through. Going back to Dan Sullivan, one of the things that I love about Dan Sullivan is his goal is to write a new book every quarter. That's a new book every quarter.
Crazy.
He's age 72, and he says, here's my life plan to age 92. That's one goal that I'm going to have is continue to write that book. I love that because all retirement means is to be put out of use. Who really wants to be put out of use? I'm sitting here thinking about retirement. I know you're thinking about retirement as you're watching this show. And just ponder that question for a moment. Do I want to be put out of use?
Well, in a matter of fact, that's a big difference in the American culture over a lot of the cultures over in Asia. You know, as somebody gets older, they are honored and respected, and they are looked to for their wisdom. In a lot of cases, too many cases here in America, you get spit out of the economy, and everybody says, just go off on your own. When in reality, you've got just the same amount of wisdom that you need to share and be passionate about and pass on to that next generation.
As you're listening to this and thinking, will my money last all the way through retirement? This is where it becomes very, very important to look at what sources of income that you have during retirement. One of our goals of the Boss Retirement Blueprint is to turn your assets into a retirement income workhorse. We want this to be working for you instead of you working for the money. These are strategies. There's tools and strategies that are available out there. If you'd like some more information on how you can plan for this living longer in retirement, visit our website or give us a call. Our website is askbossretirement.com, and give us a call, come into the office. We'd be happy to share some of these strategies with you.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
You're on the back nine heading for the clubhouse. Your dreams of spending time with family and enjoying retirement are just within reach. What happens if you end up in the rough? In these uncertain times, it's crucial to be prepared with sound advice. Boss Retirement Solutions is one of Utah's premier retirement planning specialists. For a complimentary consultation, call 801-610-1234. Boss Retirement Solutions. Plan to retire well.
From my experience, many retirees keep too much of their assets in the stock market after they retire. A well-diversified retirement portfolio should have assets in each of 3 different stages. The youth stage, putting money in savings. The adult stage, putting a portion into investments. And when you reach the mature stage, you should transition from growing and risking and protecting and guaranteeing yourself for income. If you aren't sure about your risk, call or go to askbossretirement.com to get a custom designed, easy to understand financial review. There's no obligation and no cost if you have at least $200,000 saved for retirement. Here's what you'll get: a free report to sort through your current advisor costs, a tailored strategy to help guard against your assets, a tax analysis to potentially reduce your tax liability and increase your cash flow, as well as a custom income plan, plus a budget analysis. Call now or go to askbossretirement.com.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
Thanks for watching. If you've got questions, please feel free to go to our website or call our office. And remember, a successful retirement does not happen by accident. We'll see you next week.